Hello and welcome to the Pinnacle Bank Championship podcast. My name is Chris from Herdat, and I'm joined by last year's champion, Christo Lamprecht. Christo, thank you for joining the show today.
Yeah, Chris, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. It was a pretty special week last year for me.
I wanted to thank you for one of the most exciting finishes in Pinnacle Bank Championship history. We're going to talk to David Skins a little bit later today. He had a fantastic finish for his second win, where he had to hit over his chalet. But I don't think anybody was ready for what you pulled off last year. Can you talk to me about just walking up 18? Did you know what you had to do on that hole to win the championship? Talk to me about the feeling of that.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling of winning never really set in until I made the shot. Um, for me, it was more just I was the whole day kind of chasing, and I was behind the eight ball the entire day. It was always shots behind. So coming down the stretch, I just knew I had to go for every flag and be as aggressive as I can be to give myself a chance. And I knew I needed to make birdie at least to put some pressure on them. I didn't know they made bogey on 17. So I thought I needed to at least make birdie here to get myself into a playoff of some sort. And walking up the fairway on 18, I saw the scoreboards to the left, and I saw they both made bogey. And I was like, well, if I make birdie here, I give myself a pretty darn good chance. So yeah, I mean, and then the rough was just so thick that week, because if you missed the fairway, it was hard for you to get to a green and then hold it as well. So I missed it in the right rough. I was so dead there. And I was like thinking of what's the only way I could make birdie? And hitting it front left green and having a 60-footer is probably not the best way. So I told my caddy, listen, I'm going to go for this. It might trickle over the back and I've got an easier chip, or it might run into the face of the bunker and have a pretty reasonably easy bunker shot. And so we went for it, ended up going in the bunker. It's kind of my specialty, bunkers in general. I love hitting a bunker shot. I back myself in every bunker shot I hit. So yeah, it happened to be, and then it just trickled in slow motion, which was pretty cool too.
Uh, we had about 17 cameras rolling on that moment. Your putter goes flying. Your caddy throws a club, like they cross in midair. It's one of the greatest videos that I think I've ever seen in sports history in Nebraska. So, thank you for going for it. That's a very Nebraska thing to do, going back to college football here. You know, Tom Osborne went for two, and you went for the hole. Uh, I want to talk a little bit about college football. I might take you down a couple paths here that you normally don't get asked, but you're a kid from George. You ended up in Georgia Tech. Talk to me. Were you a football fan when you were going there?
I mean, football didn't really exist. Uh, for me growing up, it really didn't at all. So for me, it was just I guess going to Tech, everything was big. Everything was awesome. I didn't understand quite the how chill and calm Georgia Tech was compared to other Southeast conferences and Southeast, I guess, teams. So I mean, I've kind of probably fell in love a little with college football. It's pretty fun to watch and fun to kind of keep track on. I'm a big Tech fan, and luckily we're starting to train in the right direction under Coach Keith. So that's awesome. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, hopefully we're in the same situation with Coach Rule over here, rebuilding and trying to win those championships again. I read that you were a rugby player back in South Africa and you broke a couple vertebrae, and that might have changed the trajectory of your life to play golf. Tell me about that.
Yeah. It's crazy. I played rugby in middle school. I pretty much played any sport in middle school. It was all kind of I just loved playing any sport. Um, I was a big sports guy. So for me personally, kind of going into high school, I always loved golf. It was always my passion. But my last game in middle school that I played rugby in, I ended up pretty much cracking two of my vertebrae. Um, and I was pretty much in rehab for God knows, probably at least about almost 2 months, 3 months. I was told we laid in bed for a month and a half, not allowed to move. So that kind of really hit me where I was like, okay, if I really want to play golf here, I can't get injured like this. So I stopped playing rugby. I stopped playing a lot of contact sports and whatever not, just to kind of pursue this dream and not cause myself to be in that hospital bed for too long.
So, you pivot to golf, a little bit safer sport. My mom would agree. So what was that like? I mean, I've read that you're from a family of giants. If you were born in the United States, like people might have been pushing you to play basketball. Like, was golf a big staple in your family?
I wouldn't say it was a big staple. My dad was a big athletic guy. Like, I mean, everyone in my family is somewhat athletic. Especially on the men's side of the generations going back. But um, I think it was something that I just picked up with my dad. It was more a bond that we grew up having. I was on a golf cart before I could speak, walk, or anything. My dad kind of fell in love with the game. I was the youngest and only son, so he fell in love with sport a little bit more when I was born. And so yeah, I was playing catch with him or doing something of some sort of golf sense. From my end, it was just awesome. Like it was kind of something that I get to have a bond with my father with. So it was really awesome for me. And we started playing golf. I think my first round of golf with him was when I was 4 years old. So from there on in, it was just kind of a bonding thing, and it grew into a love of the sport. And I just ended up spending a countless amount of hours playing it, practicing it, and growing my love for the game.
So I'm told that you're a hunter, fisherman. Did anybody try to take you out pheasant hunting or deer hunting or put it in that in front of you while you were in Nebraska?
Not in Nebraska, and funny enough, not even in America. It's been a weird one for me. I've kind of felt like I've had to put certain sides of myself of who I love, aside for the job, and we don't get too much off time. But when I go home in South Africa, my brother-in-law is a massive farmer, so we go out and we do a bunch of hunting and we do all that when I get home. So kind of for me to tap back into that part of myself, I kind of feel like I need to go home to South Africa first. But it's awesome. I mean, it's part of our culture. We're very outdoorsy people, and we love being in part of nature and doing that kind of stuff. But fishing has been a little more of the prevalent as of late when we kind of get to go to these nice little islands and go play golf on these islands, so we go get some fishing in as well.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Omaha. So in 2024, you cracked the top 30. Last year you won it. What do you think the difference was between those years in your game?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, Omaha, I loved it the first time I played. I wasn't playing at a lot of I struggled my first year on tour. Obviously with a PGA Tour I was kind of on the back foot. I had 10 tournaments left. Versus every other guy having about 25 tournaments in a season. So I kind of felt like I was on the back foot and I really needed to play well, and I kind of put some pressure on myself. But I think the difference between the first year coming there and the second year is just kind of knowing what professional life is all about and knowing how to handle it and knowing what the Korn Ferry Tour kind of requires of you. A lot of growing up in a year and a lot of just behind the scenes work on my golf swing and my coach, and just trying to be a better all around golfer. And that week was I was a lot more in control the second time around. Might not have played. Obviously, I won, but I felt like I didn't play that much better. I was just more in control. And I think that ultimately is was huge.
So here in Omaha, we pride ourselves on the support that we give all the sports. College World Series, volleyball, supernovas, Nebraska, UNO, Creighton, like we show up. Same thing with the Korn Ferry Tour and the Pinnacle Bank Championship. What was it like playing in Omaha in front of this crowd, in front of folks that may not know you, but are excited to see you, excited to learn about you? What was it like coming into Omaha for the first and second times?
Yeah, honestly, I think first of all, like the club at Indian Creek's one of the best golf courses on the schedule for us. I think it's a fairest test. I think it's obviously one of the harder ones on the Korn Ferry Tour schedule, with the score being generally lower than most golf winning scores. And then on top of that, it's a great town, great people. So for me, I think it was just an all around really good tournament. It's very well run, awesome city, and a great golf course. I think that's what you kind of need to have a really good tournament. And so for me, it was really enjoyable to be there. There's a lot of people. The crowd's really turned up, and it's just an enjoyable week all year round, all week round for the golfers and the fans. So, yeah, I mean, obviously topping it off at the end of that, of the 72 hole tournament like that, kind of made the crowd a little more rowdy than it probably was going to be. But no, it truly is an awesome week, and it definitely is one of my favorites. Not to be biased, but it definitely was.
So I have to ask, you played in pretty different weather conditions. It was a little bit chillier in 2024 and a little bit hotter in 2025. Now, I'm told that professional golfers generally like a little bit hotter because the ball flies further. Like, can you confirm or deny that myth?
So that's a tough one. I preferably actually like it a little more on the colder side. I grew up next to the coast. I grew up in wind. I grew up in rain. Kind of having all four seasons in one day. So I'm not a kind of a Arizona heat kind of guy. I don't like it one bit. But like in terms of just like, I guess guys' egos, the ball does fly a little further in the heat. So I think most guys just like that for that purpose. But you know what? I think it's awesome about the sport that you can play it in any condition possible. Besides the fact that there's lightning coming down, we can't play. But besides that, we play in wind, we play in rain, we play in everything. So with that part, I kind of love that about it. And you know what? Honestly, if I can get out the golf course, no matter what the weather is, I'm gonna enjoy myself for sure.
Agreed. Yeah, Nebraskans, we all stick together in all types of weather. We say that all the time around here, especially on the golf course. So you had a pretty awesome couple weeks leading up to Omaha, including the win. You got engaged. So Omaha's squarely in your life story from now on. How does your fiance feel about Omaha? Is it an important part of her life? How does she feel about everything that happened in Omaha?
I mean, everything leading up to Omaha, she was loving it. And she was really, it's kind of a bittersweet thing for her. She, we had our like kind of engagement trip. I took a week off before that, didn't touch the clubs, which I don't rarely do too much in the middle of a season. And so we went on this trip, went to the Cayman Islands, didn't touch a club. I was on the beach every day, having an odd beer or two, which I don't normally do either, which is interesting. But came back all refreshed. She ended up going home and not coming to Nebraska. And on the weekend, obviously, with me playing well, she was like, "Hey, should I come up on Sunday? Should I come up on Sunday?" And I was just the regular guy. Said, "Hey, I don't know if it's the best idea, but if you want to come, you can come." And she got influenced to not come, I guess, by what I said, and I think till this day, she's really kind of, mad at me for that, but, she really wanted to be part of that, but, so yeah, for her, it's bittersweet. She's obviously really it was a really cool moment for us and really cool moment for me as well, and she's just, more so sad that she wasn't there to support me, but, and be part of that, but, no, it's an awesome part of definitely our lifelong story from now on that from now on, we might just go on a trip every single time I'm playing bad, just so I can play some good golf when I come back.
We were talking about Ernie Els from when you were a kid.
Yeah, I mean, Ernie was really, really special to me. It's funny. I had a very interesting relationship with him. I kind of knew him as a friend of my uncle sitting on his porch and just me as a 5-year old being a fly on the wall. So honestly, I didn't know him much growing up as that golfer that everyone knew, until I was really starting falling in love with the game. I really kind of grasped who was sitting on my porch all these years. So honestly, it's pretty special, all the words from him and all the encouragement and kind of how all South African golfers kind of stay together. So really, it was awesome, and he's been a great mentor to me personally, and also just a great ambassador for South African golf. So any words from him is always pretty inspirational.
Excellent. So, last question for you. Nebraska is a big ag state, big beef state. We like to get around the barbecue. There's rumors of Jim Nedrow having an excellent barbecue up at the shop every year. You call it the braai. If you were cooking for everybody around the braai, what what would you be serving up?
I mean, kind of a staple dish in South Africa. I mean, we love all meat. Like generally, like any beef, we're kind of love it all. Any kind of beef dish you could think about, we love it. But if I'd have to go staple food for South Africa for a bride, it's probably be lamb chops, some perfect steak, and maybe a little bit of sausage, like a South African sausage as well, that we all just cook on the grill. That would kind of be, or lamb chops is kind of a staple bry necessity. I mean, I growing up, I probably had it about 3 times a week, so, it's probably a necessity for most people, yeah, in South Africa.
It sounds awesome. Next time you're in town, we'll make sure you have the highest quality meat. We'll see what you can do on the bri. What's next for you? Where are you at right now? Where are you playing at? How can we root for you and cheer for you in the next coming weeks?
Yeah, so I'm in Detroit, playing at playing the PGA Tour event here. So yeah, looking forward to that. I've got my second round coming up today, but no, I've just got a couple of tournaments now coming up, and then obviously we have FedEx Cup playoffs as well, and then the fall season of the PGA Tour. So that's kind of what's been the schedule for me. Obviously, this win at Omaha got me out here on tour on the big tour, so it's been an awesome ride. And I'm just looking forward to that. So that's kind of the plan for the year.
Excellent. We're always rooting for our champions. We're always rooting for you. You're an unofficial, official, however you want to put it, Nebraskan to us. You're always welcome in our state. You're always welcome in our city. Good luck on the rest of the tour. We'll be following you, and thank you for the time today, especially during a tournament week. Good luck. I can't wait to see you again here in Omaha.
Hey, Chris, appreciate it. I would love, hopefully I don't see you guys in the tournament anymore, stay on the PGA Tour, but no, I really do appreciate you guys, and definitely will, Omaha definitely holds a soft spot in my heart for sure.
Excellent. Christo, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Take care.